Welcome to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games and practice game design. And here we are with PIxel Shinobi.
The 9 Demons of Mamoru. This is a little indie game. Well, maybe not little. It's early access right now on Steam. This is made by Amethyst, not Amethyst. It's a very interesting choice of a studio name. But this was kindly sent to us by the developers, so we're going to check it out. At least do a little one-off, if not a couple, depending on how we feel by the end of it.
Yeah. Ready to go?
Do it.
Enter the world.
Eddie's the one in controls of this one.
Sweet.
Village of the Black Lotus. So this is a stealth. I did not know there was a thing up there.
Neither did I. I just saw the branches and I was like, I'm going to jump for them.
So this is a stealth action platformer game with RPG elements. I think that's how they describe it on the website.
It's very fun.
Which looks like it's currently in alpha, which...
Oh my, how do you get through?
It's pretty good for being an alpha. It makes me wonder how much I can actually comment about aesthetics, because like the one thing that stands out to me in this tutorial zone is how things don't share the same pixel aspect resolution or aspect ratio. Like,
really?
go back to that little cave. See that scroll?
Yeah.
See how its pixels are a much smaller scale than our character?
Mm-hmm.
That's like pixel art, like huge no-no.
Oh, really?
Well, you're breaking continuity of the art style.
That's fair.
If you're going to choose to... And this was way back when we played the Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human. Nathan and I played that on the show when they were running their Kickstarter way back. And that was my biggest criticism with them, too, was that they didn't have the same pixel scale. Like, the things in the background would be smaller pixels than the things in the foreground.
Gotcha.
This is a case of where it's in the same layer as the player, and it's different pixel size, which shares the same problem.
Right.
This is kind of cool, though. I like that we can, you can go in there. What's in there?
Hang on a second. I haven't been up here yet, so I don't know what layer I'm supposed to be on.
But yeah, it's always a shame, I think, when pixel art games do things like that, and they do a couple of other things to that breaks that continuity too, like the way that your character rotates when you're doing your little spinny thing. That's technically not pixel art. That's taking a pixelated object and spinning it in
this
free motion space.
Interesting.
Which, to be fair, having that effect in pixel art would be incredibly tedious to do right. Like, it'd be really hard to animate that correctly.
Gotcha.
So like that I feel like most of the time I'm willing to not whine about.
Yeah, and it's not like they needed to do something to make this stand out. They could have done it the same style and made it stand out. Yeah,
right. And even the glow effect around it has a pixelated quality. It's still not quite pixel art, but I like that they kind of like went in that direction.
Hideki, I have job for you. I am ready, Sensei. At the east of our village, there is a camp of bandits in the forest. Few weeks they have ravaging neighboring... Okay. I gotta stop ravaging neighboring villages.
I wonder if they're like intentionally doing like bad English.
They're trying.
To like be like poorly translated or poorly dubbed Japanese...
Oh, that cut.
Film.
That's what they're trying to do. The first time I came through here, I thought these were all enemies, but they're not.
I just kind of thought they were villagers.
Yeah.
Look, who is this? Hey, schmuck. Can't wait to smash his head.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't say anything there, sorry. You talk too much, just kill him. Who was that? It's something, an item. I believe you can... Oh, he moved. That's all right. You can,
So we have to kill 20 bandits. Does the mission end as soon as we kill all of them?
No, you gotta get to the end point, I believe.
So so kill 20 bandits and kill all enemy.
Yes.
I feel like that's sort of one and the same.
It's not.
It's not? Oh, pitfall, you're dead.
I forgot about that.
Okay, so the lanterns are our checkpoints.
Yes.
That's pretty straightforward. It definitely feels more like an action platformer than a stealth platformer so far.
Yeah, maybe that's because I'm playing it like an action platformer. Also, I like it that
which is totally fair. I think that that was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, look at that. So it doesn't seem like they do much to discourage you from playing like a standard action platformer.
Yeah, I feel like it could easily be done the entire way.
Which I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, right? Like, I think that it's important to facilitate within reason, as many different play styles in your games
Right.
as you can, unless you have a very specific play style in mind. And that way it doesn't feel as railroaded, I think is kind of what it ultimately comes down to.
Right.
So, like, if you want to play this game like an action platformer, I feel like there's little reason to try to prevent the player from doing that. And the only way to make it not frustrating, say that they really wanted you to always take the stealth route. I think, those are like side arms or items.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. But yeah, so I would say, like, if they really wanted players to only play the stealth route, the best thing to do would to create challenges that it would always be the optimal choice to go stealthy.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, it's almost optimal to not, because it's faster.
That's true. And it feels so much fun doing it faster, and they've made every movement so enjoyable. You just kind of want to go fast.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, how is the game feel? Because I only picked up the controller before we started recording this for like... Oh, you're not dead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought those were insta-death.
No, they're not. They're not.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I was worried that they were, and only because if they were insta-death, the player, there's not much indication of where pitfalls are until you've already opened them.
Yeah.
And if they were always insta-death, it would mean that you could, like, just always randomly die at any point. And it would be more punishing than it would be challenging.
Mm-hmm. And now I do have to fall down there, though.
Oh, that's right, you do have to kill him.
Oh, I landed where there's none of the spikes.
Oh, nice. I thought maybe you landed on him. That was cool.
No, I landed
wall
next
run.
to him. That was cool. I actually didn't know I could like jump between each wall.
Yeah, I figured
nice.
it wouldn't refresh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess the one good thing about the pit trap is that it starts to fall, but you don't immediately go down, so it gives you a chance to jump before.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's not so bad.
Like when I started playing this a second ago, testing it, I really enjoyed the fact that it wasn't just like immediate death or anything, and that you could like escape the pitfall before it went down. I really liked it a lot.
What is what's that item you have? The 7 of?
It is a
Like a smoke bomb?
smoke bomb. Wait, oop. Smoke bomb.
Does it just like stun them?
Yes. Oh.
That's kind of
Oh,
cool.
nice. Okay, so now they don't think I'm there anymore.
Oh, I see. In the little like
poison. Yeah.
And when it like depletes.
When it empties out, it's like, oh, I guess he's just gone, whatever.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll utilize the stealth mechanics more later on. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily need to.
Yeah. They might though. I bet they will in some sort of way.
Oh, you killed all 20 bandits.
Yes.
Or you at least killed... Oh, so maybe it's like kill 20 bandits as a minimum.
Yeah.
And if you find everybody, then you get the second objective.
Which I did not. Nickname
Turtle. It's kind of fun.
Interesting. Village of Black Lotus.
So you're back.
They are really trying hard to do the poorly dubbed English. Oh, I'm back here.
How do you feel about that? Do you think that's appropriate? I mean, like, I could see humor value in it, but I also feel like...
I feel
like it needs more to reinforce that if that's what they're really doing.
Yeah, I think it needs more. Also, I think the days of poorly dubbed Japanese films are kind of old now, right?
There's also like poorly translated like old Super Nintendo or NES games too. There was a game, I think it was called Oniken. Oniken, that came out a few years ago. Maybe it wasn't that long ago. But they hit that vibe too, where it was like poorly translated but very difficult kind of game. But I think the reason it worked in that game was because it felt like it could have been played on the Super Nintendo. Whereas this feels like a modern game with pixel art that's just kind of tapping into that like poorly translated vibe.
Gotcha.
So like it reads as funny, but I think it needs more to sell that joke. And I don't know if it's like more of that or just more of the general like retro vibe. If that makes sense. I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't think it's really needed at all.
I mean, this is an alpha too, so it's like they could, push that even further and actually make it work stronger. Or...
You know what it is? I think it's misplaced. I think they're doing it in the wrong places. Like, Hideki, 3R guys didn't back from the mission. Like that is not... That's like... That seems way too wrong.
No, I like that, actually. It's like almost too in your face. Like, it feels forced.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think maybe if they placed it in better places, it wouldn't feel so like, all right.
Like if they just said they went to outpost in bamboo forest, that's more so the style that they're trying to go for.
Steel Claw Cat, Sensei, teach me.
Oh my!
Whoa! So this got a full skill tree. So you have 2 experience points. Do you think that it's 1 notch per experience point? Where do you start? Do you start in the center? Blacksmith, you can craft Kunrin Shuriken.
That's cool.
That is kind of cool. Interesting.
Oh wait, I have to do that one first.
Okay, so that makes sense.
It is. I guess it's like 1 then.
And then, do you think the gray lines show what you can unlock next?
Oh, I guess so. I wonder why I can't get here. Maybe some of them cost more.
Yeah, if that is the case, maybe try. Oh yeah, because it doesn't highlight any of the other ones. Oh. Yeah, I feel like if they cost different values, they need to portray that in some way. But that's more of a usability kind of thing.
Press the attack and flip time. Press the attack during flip. Anyway, we're gonna do that. And then
just
cool.
Shuriken for days.
Yeah. I love blacksmithing. I can't.
You're out of experience.
I can't get out. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I see. So they need some UI work. But
yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, all right.
I like that there's a skill tree, though. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh, I do love it very much. Like,
do you think that the skill tree... Oh, that was cool. Do you think that a game like this benefits from the skill tree? Oh, I see. You're collecting bamboo from those. So you're actually doing resource gathering.
I think it benefits, in my opinion at least, because I like skill trees, and I'm not like the biggest fan of 2D platformers anymore. So if it's just a little bit of an extra gameplay aspect for me.
But do you think that so take what you said and consider would those mechanics work better in a different style of core gameplay? So say take it out of the 2D platformer perspective. Would that work better in a like turn-based RPG setting instead? Or, a third-person open-world exploration game?
Yeah, probably work better in those 2 circumstances.
So I guess really my point is, like, do you think that adding it to a 2D platformer like this makes a better 2D platformer, or at least a more interesting one?
Makes it a more interesting one, because I think it'd be good without it. This would be good without it.
But, so then is it better with it than it would be without it? I think that's the main
It's better
question.
for me with it than without it.
I think that's a valid point.
But I could easily see how people would enjoy this game without it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it needs to be a good game before you even think about the RPG element, or you make that RPG element a pivotal part of the game.
Okay.
And it seems like the game kind of works without it, but it still can benefit from it.
Yes.
I guess the only consideration I would have is, it might... okay. Oh, there's a smoke bomb trap. I guess for me, it might feel like it could be a distraction from what the game is trying to be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, really? You think it's a distraction?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that I would personally enjoy the skill tree. I think it's a cool idea for a game like this because you don't really see that happen often. I just worry that, like, what if, you know, you go down a path on the skill tree that doesn't like give you enough to survive different parts of the game. It's like I've even seen in like RPGs where like traditional RPGs where if you go down one skill tree, like say you choose the rogue route instead of the warrior route.
Yeah.
Suddenly you hit a boss that requires you to just kind of brute force your way through a boss, but because you went down the rogue tree, it's just almost impossible unless you're just really, really good. And I can't say whether or not that happens in this, but right. I worry that it could. Because you're not forcing your players down a linear skill tree, which I think is important. If you're going to have a skill tree, then what's the point if it's linear?
Yeah. Well, I mean, shouldn't that be something for them to keep in mind for themselves when making the game to not have that happen?
That's a balance thing for sure. So maybe that concern is like unwarranted.
I mean, if they're not paying attention to what they're making, then it's not unwarranted.
I think the reason it's so on my mind is just because I haven't seen that done in a lot of games like this. So I'm curious. I'm just curious how well it works in the grand scheme of it.
Wait. Okay.
So what are you supposed to do with these guys?
Well, I was doing a lot differently before.
So it's like...
See, you can just do that. You can just jump around them.
But you killed that guy in one hit.
Yes. Because I jumped around and behind and sliced his head off.
So it was like a backslash.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Also, you can't...
Well, that helps justify the stealth mechanics more.
Yeah. You can also attack them when they have their sword not drawn.
Oh, I see. They're blocking your attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a defense.
Yes.
So that's why you're screwing up.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly why.
That guy's really getting you.
Oh, do not let the enemy discover you.
Oh.
That's one of the... Oh, whoops. Apparently I'm freeing prisoners. I can open this while defending, waiting for him.
I like that, though, because that in itself gives the player a lot more reason to use the stealth mechanics.
Yes. That's true, but I don't know how I would get past those guys.
Just sneaky backstabs, man. You gotta play careful. Patiently. The one thing that most gamers don't like doing. Including myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the greatest at it either. Well, yeah, but I mean, you've already soiled the objective, so...
Yeah.
So what would you...
Nice.
From what we've seen, we've only played 2 levels so far.
Oh.
Well, what do you think the mid-game should have? Like, you've been playing the game for a while, you're a decent portion of the way through it. Mm-hmm. Well, at that point, what do you think that it needs to not feel redundant? I don't think that picked up on the microphone.
Hopefully not. My stomach was just... Anyway.
Your stomach had opinions.
It did. What does it need to not feel repetitive? I mean, just interesting level design, I guess. I would say.
I mean, that's a pretty vague
I guess it's vague. Okay, well...
like, what to you constitutes as interesting level design? I mean, it could be a lot of things, right? I don't think there's any one good answer. Ooh.
My stomach is just all the opinions right now. I don't know. Maybe explorative aspects, I suppose.
In terms of...
Well, the last level, I could climb up on the trees and such.
Oh, that's true.
It was not very... Oh, god damn it, I forgot about that area.
Oh, I see.
I can't get back up there because they're...
You break the spikes. Oh shit. Ooh, that's a design flaw
That
right
is,
there.
Yeah. That's not good.
I mean, once again, it being an alpha, I would hope that that's something that they would modify
Right.
later in development. Like, if a pitfall starts to open, it should totally open.
Yeah, it should totally completely open, because, like, if that's weak ground, all of the ground in the middle just fell away. The rest should fall away.
Yeah, I mean, it breaks a logical barrier, but also, you know, it creates scenarios like what we just countered if it doesn't. Which, to be fair, didn't happen until just now after we've been playing the game for 20 minutes.
Yes.
But
I'm doing bad now.
even if it happens once, that can definitely make an experience a lot more frustrating.
Right.
I like that they can fall down the pitfalls too, though.
It's fantastic.
Do you think that the pitfalls should be more obvious on the ground? Ooh, a landmine.
I mean, no, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how that you don't just automatically fall down them right when they start going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can get out of it very quickly if you're paying attention. So I don't think...
True.
I think as obvious as they are right now, which is not very, sorry, I think they're good.
Yeah?
I think the way they are is fine.
Okay, that's good, actually. I feel like it's... They chose a risky choice by not having some kind of visual indication of where they are.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't read as frustrating to the players, then I think that that's successful. And I think that really does just come down to the timing.
Indeed.
Your like give up strategy is interesting to me. Well, it's like it works though, is the thing. The game doesn't really penalize you for rushing ahead of everyone.
No, it doesn't.
Like, I don't know what a good punishment would be other than like having, like, Dark Souls does it just by like having enemies follow you just forever. At least in the first game they do that. This one, I don't know if it would be appropriate.
In 3 they kind of hang back after you run a bit.
Oh, that's lame. Although I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I like that you don't get hurt just by running past these guys.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the first things that I noticed too, is that you don't get hurt when you touch them.
There we go.
And I think that's one of the best things that they've done with the combat design.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, it makes sense with a lot of traditional platformers, but with a game that's focused on stealth and, like, I don't know, ninja and sword combat,
Yeah.
like, it's the weapons that are doing the damage, so it should only make sense. Like, the guys run. Yeah, it should only make sense when the weapon itself is being used. Ooh, ooh,
They follow you, by the way. They follow you.
They do. Yeah, maybe the other ones just were like, ooh, that's interesting. So do you think if you kill... Oh, yeah, I guess that would be how it would work. I imagine if you kill someone and you hit a checkpoint,
Yeah.
they stay dead when you hit that checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But because you hit that checkpoint when they were all still alive, they were still alive when you respawned. That's interesting, though, because it runs the risk of exactly what you encountered, where they'll start attacking you as soon as you respawn.
Yeah.
And that's... Traditionally, that's like a design 101 of, like, don't do that. You don't want your players to be in unsafe territory as soon as they reload or they start a level.
Right.
And I think that still holds here.
Okay.
I think this is just a byproduct of a gameplay style that they didn't accommodate for.
Right.
I don't think they expect or want players to rush ahead because, I mean, I feel like most games don't want that, but...
Okay, I'm trying to get through that darn door that's there.
What
And
can you do it?
They clearly do not want you to rush ahead in this.
No, which I think that's good. Oh. To cut the bonds.
Damn.
Ooh.
Ah.
All right, well, we're at time, so
Yeah,
I'll give you one more attempt.
one more quick rush.
One more quick rush. Oh, you need a key.
Oh no! The archer up top had a key. That's what it was. I never saw it. Don't rush ahead in this game, kids. Oh, whoops. Oh, Anyway.
Case in point.
Wait.
Point in case?
Wait.
Case in point.
Wait. While we're here.
Oh, yeah!
Seppuku. I didn't really need to. Oh, I did though. I got it.
With honor.
I did. Die with honor.
What's the difference between seppuku and harakiri? Is harakiri the formal kill yourself? Like you have witnesses and they... Nah, seppuku...
Oh, seppuku is the informal. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
It's just like, I have to kill myself right now.
Yeah.
Harakiri is like, you have someone like...
Yeah.
You have witnesses, you have like the other guy that cuts off your head after you've already stabbed through your center.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That's a mercy. Like they don't even have to do that, but they're like, I'm going to cut off your head so you don't writhe and suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, question of the
day. Hey, it fits the game. What we were talking about.
It's true. Fine. Question of the day. What do you think that they could do to better enforce the player utilizing the stealth mechanics? I think that they did do a decent bit to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe what are the alternatives or what else could they do rather than doing... I don't want to say that they could do it better because I think it was actually still pretty good.
Also, I thought the sound design was all on point, by the way.
Yeah.
It was all very much on point. It was all very informative and it wasn't exactly what you would expect to hear from it all, but it was tailored properly to the game.
It definitely felt appropriate. The only thing that I'm curious what you think is, do you think it should have had that like 16-bitty kind of feel? Because they're going with pixel art. It didn't have, the sound effects didn't have a chip quality to it.
That's true. I love it when, I love pixel games with sound effects that aren't.
Like full resolution sounds?
Well, no, I love pixel games that are like real sounds like this. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you? Oh, that's what you meant.
I mean, it's yeah.
I misheard you.
It's a style thing, I think. Ultimately.
Yeah, that's why I like Rogue Legacy. I think they do the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Check out PIxel Shinobi, which is in early access on Steam right now, and let us know if you want us to come back and play more, especially after they, once they hit new alpha or beta versions.
Cool. Let us know. Bye.
Bye, everyone.